Hi, I'm Willie Brian Jones. William Brian Jones is my full name. I was born in Connecticut in the Northeast, New England, in the United States. And I lived in Indiana after my family moved from Connecticut, moved to Indiana, and then I went to college in Indiana, and then I was in the Army, and I came to Germany in the 80s. And I've lived in Germany on and off since 1983. I have a place in Texas, a house in Texas, and we go back to Texas and then we come back to Germany. So right now we're living in Germany.
After all these stations in your life, how did you end up making music?
I'm from a very musical family. My mother was a music teacher and a singer. She was also very active in community theater. And I have 3 sisters and a brother, and we're all musicians. A couple of my sisters are professors of music, and I didn't really study music very much. I just went out and started playing it as soon as I could get my hands on a guitar. When I was about 12 years old, I started playing music. But I started in theater actually when I was about 5 years old. I was singing and dancing and acting a little bit. My mother was very active in community theater. So.
And how did you end up making country music? Was it always country music that appealed to you, or did you start out differently?
I started out singing rock and roll oldies, singing classical music. I took voice lessons as a youngster, and I sang in church choirs and in symphonic choirs. And when I was in college, I met a guy who had a banjo, and I started getting into bluegrass music. I learned how to play the banjo and started playing bass fiddle, and we started playing in clubs and stuff. And a guy from a very popular bluegrass band saw me playing and singing, and he hired me to play in his professional bluegrass band. And we went on the road. He had a bus, and we traveled all over the United States. And then the band, unfortunately, had problems and split up. And that's when I went to the military. And I came over to Germany, and I discovered everybody was really into country, which is similar to bluegrass. It's not the same, but it's very similar. And I started playing on the weekends, playing in the Army soldiers clubs. I had a band called Cripple Creek. I started that in 1983, and we played every weekend in the Army NCO clubs. It was a lot of fun. I made more money playing music than I did being in the Army. It was awesome. Take tomorrow, but tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight, and it's bad to be alone. Help me make it through the night.
What was your experience with the country or bluegrass music in Europe?
It was, at the time in the 80s when I first came here, it was pretty new, and a lot of people were just discovering it. There weren't very many bands, but through the years, it's grown in popularity. It's amazing. In Nuremberg, I have friends there. There's like 5 or 6 different country bands that they're playing quite a bit. I mean, they're good. I mean, they're all good. Back in the early days when I was in Germany, there were some bands, but they weren't of that level that they are now. There's a certain standard of goodness, say, that the bands are now. It's pretty much a unspoken thing that the bands have to be pretty good before they start going out and playing gigs.
It's also really interesting because, like you said, country music has grown, the popularity has grown in Europe and Germany.
Exploded. It really has. And there's a lot of reasons for it. One reason, I think, is because the popular music of today is not touching the hearts and souls of people like it did in the earlier days. And the country songs are more down to earth, and people can identify with the messages of country songs better than they can with hip hop and what the kids are listening to nowadays. It's a nice alternative, and it's great to see young people at the shows, and there's more and more of them coming with their parents to the shows. It's a phenomenon that is really, it's in the States as well. You know, it's people are just, they want music that they can identify with, I think.
What do you think, how does European country music relate to American country music? Is it very different, or are they quite similar?
They're the same. The message is the same. Sometimes the songs are different. There's some great German songwriters that are writing German lyrics to country songs. But the whole idea of country music is just like when Jimmy Rogers started in 1920. He wrote songs that people could identify with, that they could relate to. And that's what country music is, basically. It's something for everybody that they can say, oh yeah, I can definitely relate to that. If it's about going fishing, if it's about being in love with your wife, if it's about trouble at work, all these things that people have in their day-to-day lives, and that's what's in country music.
It was there I found beside the Alamo, enchantment strange as the blue up above, and that moonlit path that only she would know. Here's my broken song of love, ruining all your splendor, knows only my heart. Call back my rose, rose of sand and tone, lips so sweet and tender, like petals falling apart. Speak once again of my love, my own. Broken songs, empty words I've known, still live in my heart all alone. And that moonlit path beside the Alamo.
You're kicking off our Country Times event series here in Linz today. We're very happy to have you. Is this your first time to Linz?
No, I don't think it is. I've been here a few times, but not very often. Don't quote me on where and when. I don't really quite remember. You know, I've been over here for almost 30 years, and I can safely say I've played here. I'm just not real sure. Probably with this guy. This guy here, me and him, we've played all over the place. Did we ever play in Linz?
We never played in Linz.
Okay, well, I probably played here with other bands. I was with several bands.
How long have you two been playing together?
Oh, since 1997, 8, 6? Yeah. We started playing together in a group called Shady Mix, which was a very popular band in the 90s here. 2 other Americans were in the band, and we played mostly original music, and Wolfie and we met then. And after the band split up in 2000, we started just doing duo stuff and played with other bands, trios, and whatever. We both like it when we can get together and play music. Old friends.
So what are your plans for the rest of the year?
Well, I have a lot of things going on. I have a band, my own 5-piece band, the Willie Jones Band. All the guys are from Slovakia, and we play a lot of festivals over there. And we also play over here a lot. We play at Pullman City a lot, and other things. We're doing a lot of that. And me and Wolfie are always looking for new adventures. We don't have anything concrete lined up yet, but we're talking about it on the way down today. We had a lot of time to talk, as you know. We had about 2 hours more to talk than we would normally have to talk because of the wonderful traffic jams we were in. But yeah.
But at least something good came out of it, right?
Right. And Wolfie teaches guitar lessons, and he plays in several other groups. And I have my band, and I also work. I drive heavy machinery for a a Steinbruch, as you say, and at a quarry. And I do that, but it's a great job because I not only like what I do, but my boss also gives me all the time I need to go on tour and stuff. If I'm not there, they don't miss me, which is perfect.
I got the milk 'em in the morning, feed 'em, milk 'em in the evening blues. Now, looky here, you old heifer, I'm really gonna tell you some news. Even though I said you wouldn't give 9 squirts, bless your heart, I love you so much it hurts. I got the milk 'em in the morning, feed 'em, milk 'em in the evening blues, milk 'em in the evening blues. Milk 'em in the evening blue. Thank you.